Winstrike. A lot of time thinking about this. I think the Razor pick really put a spanner in the works of their draft. So you definitely still think about going for the Troll. It's just such a bad idea when you've got a Razor across the board. Even the Lifestealer doesn't work here.
Radiant team ban.
Oh, they go for the Terrorblade. Okay. I don't mind this. I've seen a few Terrorblades been popping up here and there. It definitely could be a very, very viable position 1 in this meta. It still has the same problems where it relies on Metamorphosis and it takes a while to get that farm up, and it doesn't necessarily flash farm either as a position 1. But once you get to that mid game, once the meta's up at full levels, once you have a couple items, he is still so devastating. The damage output is ridiculous on Terrorblade. Of course, with the Oracle, it does also help just be able to keep him alive in case he can't get that Sunder off. Then after the False Promise wears off, you can go for another life in the form of the Sunder. The likelihood is at some point this Void Spirit probably will pick up an Orchid to try and deal with the Terrorblade, so it still all does work for Winstrike.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick. Lena.
Oh, Winstrike straight into the Lena. If they assume the Raze is mid, then the Lena's a great pick, just because Razor can't do much against the Lena. Even the Void Spirit, though, will suffer quite a bit up against this Lena pick, so it is a very nice one at that. Great burst potential for the Grimstroke AA. Can't complain. Even the Void Spirit's just nice lockdown with the LSA.
5 seconds remaining.
I think overall Winstrike have rounded out that draft fairly well. You need some way to deal with the Terrorblade. Okay, the Underlord comes out. That's not a bad pick. The idea for Team Unique is if they could just deny the hell out of this Terrorblade in lane, which Underlord is probably the best hero to do it with, you could just slow down his farm. The Void Spirit and Razor obviously snowball in that mid game. So if Terrorblade has nothing going into the mid game, it's really not going to be a problem. They can just run over this side of Winstrike. Of course, just limiting mobility with Pit of Malice is always amazing when you have a Razor Void Spirit on your side of things. And it's going to make the Mars second guess even going for the Arena of Blood, because if you don't really catch the Underlord, he's always going to be able to put that Pit and Firestorm down. And even then, he can just ulti out if he needs to. So overall, I don't want to say I prefer either draft. I think both are very well rounded. It's just going to be a matter of who wins out the lanes. It really does go back to that. If Unique can win out the lanes and snowball and finish the game quick enough, they're going to win this game really easily. But if they give enough time to this Terrorblade, things are going to get very, very hard. One little combo, though, that I haven't really mentioned yet is the Grimstroke with the Soulbind can allow Aggressive Child on the Razor to get a double static link off. Now that can be very, very devastating, because I believe he still does get double the damage, as well as the fact that he's definitely taking double the damage off to, he's taking damage off 2 heroes in a team fight. We don't get to see it very often, but it could be quite a reliable way of stopping Winstrike from having that DPS output throughout these engagements. I guess only time will tell. I do believe Unique is going into this series as the favourites. I didn't quite look at the odds, but I'm pretty sure they'd be the favourites in this match. course, we do have an immediate pause.
I'm too old for this.
This pleases me to no end. This pleases me to no end.
Beautiful Terrorblade.
That was hot.
I want to die.
I've got to say, like, if Winstrike can really just buy time with this TB, they have no answers. There's no decent magical burst. Of course, you've got the AA with the Ice Blast, which can always make it harder. But if you get to the point where the Terrorblade has a BKB up, not really a problem anymore.
I do not thank. I sense a connection between us.
Boys. Do they lane this Void mid, though? It's a tough question, because the Razor would probably have a better time in mid than the Void Spirit would. I think you're just better off giving the Void Spirit that safe lane farm. But at the same time, the Razor also does pretty darn well up against Mars. So you can almost certainly dominate the safe lane if the Razor goes there. Whereas the Void Spirit would be more kind of working on just getting, you know, some last hits going for himself. Like, we're going to know after this pause is done. They asked for 2 minutes on the side of Winstrike, I believe. Thank you, Mr. Cameraman. The lovely curry is being displayed here. Not a big fan of that one. I mean, it looks kind of cool. But we've gone over this, Mr. Cameraman. You can't change the styles for them.
This pleases me to no end.
It's cool. Like, the art style's pretty cool. I feel like the legs are a little too long, though. Not sure about that one. It does look cool. Like, the art style is really nice. Anyway, enough of those couriers. We get to see the game unfold in front of our eyes. And so it is going to be Aggressive Child. He does go to the bot lane as the Razor, and it looks like Ush is going to actually take the mid as the Void Spirit. That should be a very, very tough lane for the Void Spirit, but I think it's fine because you guarantee the safe lane wins with the Razor. You make it a very, very hard time for this Mars.
You can run. You should run.
The DK Phogos should really not have a great time. He will have the assistance of the Oracle. In fact, Winstrike may run a tri-lane. But no, they definitely shouldn't. Like, the Terrorblade needs to be babysat. There's no way this Terrorblade gets any farm if he's left alone with an
30
Underlord.
seconds to battle.
So for sure, like, Kikid is probably going to rotate back up as the Oracle.
This pleases me to no end.
The battle begins.
In fact, I think if you are the Underlord this game, I wouldn't be surprised if Patushra just goes for level 1 a Trophy Aura. Like, Firestorm's always, like, pretty annoying to deal with, but a Trophy Aura at level 1 against the Terrorblade's really gonna hurt. See, bot lane, no fear, already giving the hello to TS8. It's Razor already copying a fair bit of damage. Surprisingly, DK Phogos has been rather aggressive, and Aggressive Child hasn't actually gone for a skill point in Static Link yet. Not sure what he's waiting on though. Usually once you get into the lane, you want to Static Link immediately and gain that immediate advantage. You can essentially deny and secure a whole creep wave with one Static Link.
Nothing to your pile.
Young G having a very, very decent time mid so far. 4 and 4 on the Lina. Patushra, did you go for the Trophy Aura? He did. I think that's just the smarter play. Like, it just make it as hard as possible for this Terrorblade early. No need for Firestorm, because you've already, you know, you're not really going to get that much done with Firestorm apart from pushing out the wave. So the Void Spirit mid is falling very low, Mr. Cameraman, but Young G won't quite get enough to finish him off, or maybe he will. He's looking for an LSA, and it does land. Whoosh, getting a little too greedy there. Tried to stick around for another last hit, but Lina, it has a decent range, and its skills don't cost much mana. They are very, very spammable. This mid lane, I don't want to go as far as saying it's been lost already, but he's doubled the CS. He's going to out-level him for sure now. Nice remnant though from Ush, pulling Young G back in, but it doesn't really get to tier 1 range. At least Young G is out of mana now, so you feel a little more comfortable if you are Ush. Sobat's gonna chase Kiki down.
Vanished, but not gone.
Yeah, a lot of harassment from Sobat. Really not allowing Kiki to sit in the lane. You've got that Soul Ring up now on the Underlord. He's already 18 and 4. He hasn't got many denies off, but with that Soul Ring, that Firestorm becomes very spammable, and I imagine what he's probably going to do is just keep pushing into Creep Wave and just start farming the jungle. Force the Terrorblade to try and farm underneath that tier 1 tower.
You're welcome. My thanks.
Aggressive. I'm kind of shocked here that he hasn't really dominated DK Phogos. It can be a little bit challenging because you can always spear the Razor away. And then though, I don't think he should have this many last hits on the Mars. 15 and 1. Bit peculiar. Young G's gonna find a really nice rune. One of the favorites for Alina. Arcane Rune. Just gives you so much spammability. He'll definitely wait till that level 6 mark before he does bother to pop the Arcane Rune, but once he has level 6, Ush is going to have to be super careful about how he plays that mid. I believe he will have enough burst potential to just take down Ush, especially if he gets started with these Dragon Slaves. And, well, he's not even level 6, he's just using the Arcane Rune already. Another Dragon Slave cancelling off the bottle charge. And this lane is becoming more and more impossible for this Void Spirit. Props to Ush. He does have 21 and 2 considering the circumstances.
Money to burn.
Nice stacks going on. That dire jungle. You may need the laner to rotate up to clear those with you though. Otherwise this Underlord is just going to take all of them. Remnant, Young G doesn't get caught. See, Ush, he's just very, very cautious. Very afraid of any spells flying out as Young G. He is level 6, so if he lands the LSA, that is a guaranteed kill. And Ush coming in has raindrops, so perhaps it's not a guaranteed kill because he can block some of that magic damage off. Gade gonna get jumped on. Tushra with the Inkswar on top, and it's gonna be an easy cleanup. Sobat will pick the kill up on the Grimstroke, and now the Terrorblade tries to get harassment in, but you can't do that up against an Underlord. He'll just go forward and start hitting you. He's got 184 damage right now, thanks to a trophy aura's mid lane. Ush!
Turbulence.
As I said, if he gets stunned, he is dead. That is exactly what happens. Really great play from Unique. They're actually behind in terms of kills, surprisingly enough, but I really don't think that's a problem. In terms of lanes, they have secured every single lane. Tushra is going to get chased up top. He does actually put a skill point into his ultimate, and he'll happily go back to the fountain. Can always just TP back to the lane. You don't usually want to actually skill up the ultimate on Underlord at level 6, but in that case it was definitely worthwhile as DK Phogos. Nice spear. Does cancel off the static link. Looks like Nofi is continuing the chase and aggressive child. He has a mango, so he will have enough for a plasma field. He just needs to commit it now, and it will not actually reach. DK Phogos with the brown boots just running way too quick. But they do force back the Mars, who have to go back to the fountain and reset. It's basically just as good. TB does go for the triple Wraith Band build. He is going to be forced to jungle. That is why you see the triple Wraith Bands come out. With that build, you can use the illusions to farm creep camps very efficiently. He already understands. Up against the Underlord, he's got zero chance of winning the lane any longer. He just has to find farm where he can.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Kiki could be targeted once again. Patushra gonna move in. No Inkswar yet. So bad. Do you throw it out? No. Fate's Edict gonna be there, but now he has the Inkswar. Still Kiki surviving throughout all this, but Patushra so tanky already. Just gonna run after him. Firestorm. Not gonna be enough. Kiki, you know you're probably dead. He tries to go for the courier. So bad. Will grab the kill. That'll make it a 2-2. 8.5 minutes into this game. Unique applying pressure to both the bot and top lane now on those T1s.
Regeneration.
Nice little stack coming out from the TB. There'll be really zero protection for this tier 1 top. Like, Kiki is there pulling the creep wave away to try and delay things a little bit. That's really his only option, to take a bit of farm from the lane as well. But that tier 1 is definitely about to die. Looking back to mid, this Lina vs Void Spirit matchup has not worked out for Unique. Really has not. This Lina is 1.7k ahead in net worth already. Now Young G gonna rotate. No Fear really has no chance to survive this. You have Laguna up. They won't even try to commit it. He does at least get the Cold Feet proc, but No Fear does go down anyway. DK Phogos with the kill. So bad. Patutra are gonna try and take the outpost. They will get it in time. It'll still be a 1-for-1 trade on those outposts anyway. They definitely needed to secure it for this unique side.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Remnant, mid lane, Kiki getting caught, Ush just going forward, Inkswell won't really do anything, but it doesn't matter, they have the damage. No Fear this time will pick up a kill on the support AA. It's always nice as well, he's bottom of the net worth board, so every little bit helps for this AA. Young G, surprisingly enough, rotates top and defends the T1 again. Usually most teams wouldn't really mind if their tier 1 safe lane tower goes down, because it's not really that valuable. But the fact that Winstrike aren't finding a trade for their own tier 1 means they have to protect it. Bot lane, lift, Arena of Blood, aggressive, he's going to be in trouble. TP's immediate, but he just gets bursted so quick. Ice Blast going to fly in eventually. Does connect on DK. Ush, is he going to go for this? He will not.
Tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower.
They do get the tier 1 eventually. Unique. Won't have to give their own one up yet. So 3 to 4. Bit more map control for Unique, but the net worth lead is still on the side of Winstrike. Most of that net worth, of course, going to be on this Terrorblade and the Lina. Unique just haven't really found the opportunity to start diving that dire jungle and find this Terrorblade. They are still trying to defend their own tier 1 bot. Tushra actually rotating very early as the Underlord. He's going to get caught out. LSA connects. He is a tanky boy, but maybe not enough as Laguna flies in. Patutra trying to run away. He'll be successful for now. Soulbind comes out on the Lina. Young G still man fighting by himself. They do get so bad, but they'll lose their core Lina. Patutra still running away from DK Phogos. Does he get away? Where's the spear? It seems to be on cooldown as now Aggressive Child comes in with the link. And Winstrike, they just get baited into continuously chasing this Underlord, and it does not pay off. I personally thought it was way too early of a rotation from Patutra, but the bait works out well for Unique. Now they can try to claim this T1 mid. The reason why he was so tanky in that team fight, he had the Hood of Defiance already up. He had so much magic resist up against Young G on the Lina. See, DK Phogos going to try and go after Aggressive Child, but he is well and truly out of range. He's already got the full pipe up. This is really bad for Winstrike. He's bringing it out on the courier, but that 400 magic damage block is going to be very, very hard for Winstrike to play into. Your main source of damage is Young G at the moment, so the fact that all these spells are borderline to do nothing,
Radiant's courier has been killed.
it's not good. Not good if you're a Winstrike fan. I think with that pipe, you may see Unique feeling more comfortable to start smoking up and taking 5v5 team fights. Yeah, you've still got burst potential on Winstrike, but not quite as much anymore.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They are just going to allow Patutra to farm up more. We do see 3 heroes from Unique in the mid lane, but they don't smoke yet. Wait, did that courier get killed off with his pipe? He hasn't got the pipe yet. I saw the recipe and the headdress on the courier, so he definitely has it intact, but maybe the courier goes down as top lane. DK Fogos going to be targeted. Ush connects the remnant.
Radiant are scanning.
Very easy kill, and Young G gets caught by the Ink Sword, does get the Yules off on the Grimstroke, but now the Ice Blast gonna fly in. They got the Soulbind off as well. The Stroke of Fate, and Patushra, he's going to be here with the Pit of Malice, but False Promise does try to save Young G. Pit of Malice is actually going to be stolen by TSA, and it does lock them in long enough to allow Young G to run away. Great steal there from TSA. It's a very, very valuable teamfight ability in this game. You'll probably see the Rubik taking it a lot more often than that.
Is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
They are going to TP, and again, it seems as though they want to try and defend the bot T1, though no, they'll just fortify and cancel the Underlord ultimate. The AA will TP bot, though maybe not. They just let the T1 go down. They're dedicated for this mid T1. Sergeant Yasha already up on the TB? They've left him for that long that he has Sergeant Yasha up. He had such a bad lane, but his catch-up farm has been incredible. Winstrike say let's smoke. Feeling a little more confident. They aren't going to take the Terrorblade with them. But with that Arena of Blood, they could definitely find Ush right now. And Ush, Pit of Malice coming out from TSA again. Spear. And just this Rubik Steel locking him down long enough as you can't Astral Step through the root. It's a very, very valuable kill for Winstrike. Oh, and the Terrorblade even got a Pupil's Gift. One of the best items he could find for the Terrorblade. It's just giving him that extra strength and int. And Terrorblade, generally speaking, does have very low health and very low mana pool. So just the fact that he gets so many bonus stats in those areas, really going to help him out. You see a smoke from Unique. They still want that mid T1. TSA just defending with Fade Bolt. Young G, got to be careful not to get caught. Ush, he's kind of roaming around trying to scout out. TSA gets caught by the Pit of Malice. They should be able to burst him, and they do. There's the pipe being popped, though. Soulbind, double silence. No follow-up to that. They do secure the T1, and that's all they wanted. I would be careful not to stick around too long, as that Arena of Blood should be coming off cooldown soon. They do eventually retreat. Well, DK does have the blink ready to go, so you've got that initiation now from the Mars. You know, although Unique are finding objectives, they're still behind in net worth by 2k, and I've got to say they've left the Terrorblade way too long. He's just getting way too farmed up at this rate. Unique, like, you've got a Razor, you've got a Void Spirit, you've got an Underlord. All these heroes love to start pushing in towers, but at 18 minutes in, you've got 2 T1s. It's just not enough. They're going to try for more now. They need more pickoffs. They see Kikid on the Oracle, just running down the river, and it looks like Kikid may barely get away, though no, they are making the Astral Step. Thank you, Mr. Cameraman. There we go. Kikid at least does get caught out, and that could be a nice setup for the bot T1, but the creep wave has pushed in, so instead they're going to go up mid. You've got Firestorm taken by TSA, so he can certainly defend with Fadebolt Firestorm by himself. Winstrike on their way to win this game. They're just making enough space. Zush runs into TSA. TSA lifts him up. Arena of Blood into the spear. They want to burst its Void Spirit down. Laguna comes in, but it's not enough. Barely getting out for now. DK, he'll keep moving forward, but TSA has gone down on the Rubik. Now they're going to lose DK Phogos. They just could not find Ush, and that goes back to the pipe of Patushra. Just blocking barely enough damage so that he did not lose his life through the Laguna.
Wish fulfilled.
I'm gonna say I'm actually kind of shocked that we're seeing a Satanic Rush from the TB. This I don't necessarily agree with. You're fighting into an AA. Ice Blast makes it so Satanic does nothing. So unless he's gonna wait out the Ice Blast or just try and dodge it every time, I think you were better off just going for a BKB rush after the Sergeant Yasha.
Bounty.
Obviously he doesn't feel the same way. Still a huge item to grab, that Satanic. You're going to get it eventually.
Regeneration.
Just seems a little early when No Fear can just Ice Blast you and you can't do anything about it. Unique, they'll keep pushing down the mid-tier 2. They've got that Dragon Skull on the Underlord, so he can get that nice dot damage on the towers and push it down a little bit faster. Mid lane, still being pushed in. Bit of Malice, they will not jump on TSA. In fact, an Arena of Blood, DK Phogos getting the fight started. Do you have the burst potential? The AA falling low, but he got Ice Blast off Young G. He goes down. Now Ush cleaning up TSA on the Rubik, and this looks really bad as the Terrorblade getting caught in the Pit of Malice, couldn't get Sunder off. DK Phogos gonna get chased down by Unique. He's a sitting duck. And Ush will pick up a double kill. Winstrike, you were going so well, but that Satanic Rush. If you had a BKB in that team fight, it would have been a completely different story.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Now they're pushing down a tier 3 tower, and they can because Patushra just tanks the front line. He has a Crimson Guard and Pipe Up. Unique will happily start controlling the map.
Radiant's top tower.
Of course, Young G has to be very, very careful about how he positions himself in this team fight. Like, he is one of the biggest damage outputs of the Winstrike side. You can't run into Pit of Malice like that. You see Unique, they feel so confident with all these auras from Patushra that they can just sit in the mid lane and keep forcing it in. Like, how are you going to fight into Pipe Crimson? And I thought he may change his build, but no, he is still rushing Satanic.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's a lot of damage. Got 55 permanent damage on Patushra.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Winstrike trying to set up on the bot tier 2. They do find it. They've got to be careful now as Unique are looping around and they'd love to take another team fight. They're ready all the time. TSA destroyed. Showed up for a second and died a second later. There's that Satanic as well. The Terrorblade now has it. He's actually going to rush Daedalus straight after us. He just wants damage. Really? No BKB? Do they have a pipe on DK Phogos? Well, mid lane, there could be some action. No. Is there a pipe on DK? Are we allowed to... Can we have a look at the Mars?
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
Roshan will go down. Unique. Claim it very easily.
Dire are scanning.
Divine Rapier being queued up. I don't think you're lacking damage, though.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Young G, he'll be there to force out the top lane. He has a BKB, and that's going to be a 10-second charge, so I agree with that decision from Young G. Very much. Push, though, smoked up with the rest of his team, running towards that top lane. Young G should
Radiant
sense this and know to TP up very, very soon. They're going to show themselves quite soon. In fact, no, Young G's still there. Ush now rushing forward, the TP, but the Remnant just perfect from Ush. They force out the 10-second charge, but Young G, how do you get out now? LSA going to drop, he does get 2. He'll try for the BOT's TP, and he should get out just in time. That BKB timing does last long enough. Very, very close call, and I mean, you've got the 10-second charge gone, so I think Unique is still okay with this.
Wish fulfilled.
Orb of Destruction there on the Terrorblade now. That's a great item for this hero. Titan Sliver being picked up by Mars, even better. Looks like the Mars does now have a pipe up, so you do at least have some way of blocking out all this magic damage. On the same token though, Batusha is about to have a Heaven's Halberd up. He does buy it out, it's on the courier. So the disarm going to be ready to go. Oh, terribly, he's going to run up. They want to fight. DK, nice arena, does actually skewer in the Grimstroke. They find 2 supports immediately. Unique. Do you keep fighting this? I don't think you want to. The meta's there. Aggressive Child, he goes down immediately. Young G, forward low, but not quite low enough as Ush is dying. Trying to run out. The Pit Lord ultimate, he'll get out of there. Remnant, Ush, in trouble. He'll lose the Aegis. And it looks like they will find the secondary kill. A great team fight for Winstrike. I was a little bit shocked. They just ran up the hill and Unique just didn't respond quick enough. They just thought, what the hell's going on? It wasn't even a smoke gank. Batusha now getting caught. Drops the Pit of Malice, but he gets one dropped on himself as well. Soulbind, Batusha, can you get out? He's very tanky. In fact, he's going in for a team fight again with the Inkswell. After the Oracle Kikid, actually going to die to this Underlord. An Ice Blast, it'll fly through. It connects on the TP and the Pit of Malice once again locking them in. Is it enough though? They'll find the Terrorblade. He's so darn low, but he is running away though. Stroke of Fate does connect. It's not enough. So bad. Glimmer caped up. The Sunder was on a creep, so back to full HP for the TP. Unique won't lose too much. They didn't even lose that mid tier 2 in all this. It does get this Terrorblade a step closer to his Daedalus. Top the net worth board, farming very, very well. Unique. Still feeling confident, still quite an aggressive position from their heroes, and they are starting to loop around to the bot lane where they know the Terrorblade is. Like, never mind, they start grouping up in the Dire east side jungle. And everyone's going to run up to Batusha. The smoke breaks, but a 4-man Pit of Malice. Do they have the damage? Ice Blast comes in. Young G going straight after the AA. The Arena of Blood really does nothing. At least they do get a spear though on the Underlord. Aggressive Child now pops the BKB after Kikid. Kikid doesn't have false promise. He already committed it, so he is forced to just die. A huge Pit of Malice from the Underlord. Grabbing 4. They only get a support pick off out of that.
is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's structures are fortified.
Winstrike do
Dire's
manage to still
bottom
hang
tower
on.
is
They
under
haven't lost
attack.
too much. Still got a 1k net worth lead the way of the Dire. So now we see Unique actually get a Titan slither up on their end of things. It's a great item on the Underlord if you wanted to give it to him. This makes him that much harder to kill.
I must have them all.
The tide is south.
Invisibility.
They're going after that bot tier 2 Unique.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
66 permanent damage on Patushra.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Going for the AC after.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Once you get that AC up, he does become very hard to deal with because he also has the attack speed level 20 talent. So his attack speed goes nuts and his damage is usually pretty nuts to boot.
Radiant's top tower
He almost
is under
becomes
attack.
a kind of DPS core.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They're going to start forcing in
Dire's
that bot
bottom
tier 3.
tower is under attack.
They've got the TB
Radiant's
Mars
middle
down
tower
the
is
top
under
lane.
attack.
They make a rotation. Not willing to give away tier 2s. Both teams perhaps just kind of waiting out the Roshan before they try to go for a high ground attempt again. Unique, get a smoke up. Looks like they are ready to 5-man and try to find some targets. Shiva's Guard, available in Aggressive Child and Daedalus. Coming out now in Young G and the Lena. You see Unique just really ensuring they are very, very difficult to kill in these team fights. Winstrike just all out on damage. And since when did they change the Aetherland's item look? I wasn't aware that was changed.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures
Unique, back
are
into the mid.
fortified.
Trying to apply pressure to force the side of Winstrike back towards their base. Strike desperately wanting to take that top tier 2 tower.
Dire's bottom tower
Terrorblade
is
will
under
leave his
attack.
illusions to get some DPS out.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's a very slow process with just an illusion. Bush will just clear it out himself. I mean, I believe they're waiting for Patushra to have the AC up. Like, you've already got a Shiva's Guard. The AC just tanks everyone up even more with that armor. I'm not sure if that was necessary, Mr. Cameraman, but thank you. We do still have the Divine Rapier queued up on the TB.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
He's holding this Titan Slither. Does give him some nice resistance. Got so much damage on this Terrorblade.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He gets a Divine Rapier. He's going to be hitting for 700 per auto attack during Metamorphosis. It's pretty insane.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Double damage rune a bot, or top. Ush, he does bottle it up himself. They have smoked up on Unique. Not quite getting any targets, but Winstrike are about to show themselves top.
Radiant's top
They've been
tower
basically
is
hanging
under
around there trying to force that tier 2 in for so long now. Who's the TP's coming in? Young G does get there. A lot of pings. Where are we going? They did actually find one. The so bad Grimstroke does get caught out. And now Winstrike, they'd love to take a team fight. Tushra, though, with the high ground advantage. Do you really want to take this fight without your Grimstroke? Tushra, hit a Malice, aggressive child, starts moving in with the Shiver's Guard, Young G. Gonna be the main target, but he pops his BKB. Static Link's still gonna be there, and now the Metamorphosis is being popped. DK, he gets a nice arena off, holding in that AA and the Underlord, but they have found Young G, they found TSA, and they're getting chased down. The TB all alone, buybacks flying out from Young G, also one from the AA, but it looks like they've also caught the Oracle Kikid. He has no way out of this apart from just trying to heal himself up. Does he actually survive though? Maybe he does. In fact, he does, just barely. The TB still going, but now the Yule's on the Razor, still surviving. Shiver's Guard comes out. Young G may die again as he's falling very, very low to this Underlord, though not low enough. He'll get out just barely. The Pit of Malice holds him in. Patushra still moving forward. Ush, can you break the distance? He'll go after Kikid. The Oracle about to go down, and now the Grimstroke Soulbind holding them all in. The Metamorphosis is about to run out, but it doesn't even matter. He dies anyway. Ice Blast, does it connect on Young G? It does not. But it won't really matter. DK does get caught out, does go down. And so many buybacks being expended from Winstrike. But that was definitely a unique win. And it really does go back to this Underlord pick. He just won't die. No matter what they do to the guy. Just keeps hitting them over and over again. Keeps being disruptive with that Pit of Malice. And it just really allows Ush to jump around the team fight, picking off supports, making it hard for the Lina to actually throw out any abilities. Now an easy Roshan. How much permanent damage do we have on Patushra? Mr. Cameraman, can we go on the Underlord, please? No, we won't. Cameraman does as he likes. Bloodthorn now going to be up on Ush. That's a huge item. Strike really struggling. 22 to 13, 5k net worth lead. 4 unique. This may not be a team fight they want. Nice bit of Malice from TSA. Now the arena. To start off this, DK willing to tank for his team as they are going for the AA. Still alive, but he will die back immediately. Now the Soulbind though. And here comes Ush jumping in after DK. Do they have the burst damage? Not quite. He's surviving for now. Patushra getting very, very low and does die. They still go on. Aggressive Child starts the Static Link, but this is not a team fight you want to take any longer. You don't have a front line. TSA jumps back in, gets the lift off. Aggressive, committed with the BKB. Will eat the cheese and run away. Winstrike, they aren't done. They really want another. Looks like Young G will give up. TB back to the fountain. He was out of mana. TSA, just with that one Pit of Malice still, again, turning it around for Winstrike. Just such a great setup for the Mars ulti. And you've got almost enough money now for this Terrorblade to finish off the Divine if he wishes. He won't have buyback gold, so he may just hold out on buying the Sacred Relic. But he'll get back to farming. Get that buyback gold up. In fact, never mind. He just buys it. I suppose if you lose the Divine, you lose the game anyway. So we have a Divine up. His damage output, insanity. I predicted before that he'd have about 700 damage per auto attack with Metamorphosis. I believe it'll be higher as bot lane so bad does die, but they do get a trade onto TSA. Ush though getting stuck in that Pit of Malice again from the Rubik. I really want to see how much right click damage this Terrorblade does have. In fact, we might find out soon. He is looping around trying to find somebody though. Bloodthorn, oh my god. Without the Metamorphosis, he's about a 3-hit Ush. He does BKB TP, but the Arena Blood comes in. It won't hold anybody. Hit a Malice though, Young G. Has the BKB ready to go. They'll jump back in and force that out. Bush still chasing. He really wants this Lina kill. Does opt to back off in the end. So Unique, if they want to win the next team fight, which obviously they do, it's impertinent that they land that Ice Blast on this Terrorblade. If they do not, things are going to go very, very bad. That's the target. Just get the Ice Blast, you cancel off the Satanic, you cancel off the Sunder. And Winstrike, if that doesn't happen, you just keep running at Unique. There's no real two ways about it. You have what it takes to get rid of Patushra very, very early with Metamorphosis now. Like, they are going to try and wait till this Terrorblade does have level 25. And, well, of course, the Thunder cooldown talent or the Metamorphosis range. And I have a feeling he'll probably just go for the range. It's not usually the build, the talent build you want to go for. But if he gets hit by Ice Blast, Thunder is kind of useless, so... Go to 4-staff up, going for the Dragon Lance. Or Hurricane Pike, I should say. DK, Silence going to follow him down. Unique, I'm not sure if this is the team fight they want, but Patushra is trying to bait someone back in. The rest of his team smoked up behind. They're going to break that smoke now.
Radiant's bottom
So
tower
close they
is
could
under
probably smell
attack.
each other. Everyone just in the tree line, just hide in the trees. And oh, Young G, a lot of damage. Ush just clears him out with the double damage rune. Now DK, he's going to get bursted. Whoa. That was quick. Aegis does expire. Disconnection from Aggressive Child. Apparently losing the Aegis does make him disconnect. As we do go back to this frontal view. So 121 permanent damage on this Underlord. Very nice. He's hitting for about 400 per auto attack. Of course, he hits very fast with that AC and level 20 talent. Looks like this pause won't take very long. Aggressive Child is going to reconnect.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They do have a creep wave attacking their tier 3 as a bot, but they're just going to skip their own the dire creep wave and cancel that out. They need to make some kind of high ground push happen now, because you don't have a buyback available on the Lina. And they should know this, because Young G did buy back before. They should have the timing right. Gotta watch out for that Prince's Knife on the AA to boot. Like, if he gets caught out with that Hex, this Terrorblade will probably melt before he can do anything. Repair kit on the tier 3. Jump in again. Ush, just getting rid of these supports like it's nothing.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
TSA will buy back, but you still got a minute without the Lina. They'll get a tier 3 straight after that Rax. There is a possibility they rush tier 4s here. It's a bit risky, but it's a 4v5 situation.
Has fallen.
They'll go after the bot tier 3 instead. What did they steal? It is going to be a Firestorm. They really want Pit of Malice instead, but they've got to settle. DK jumps in straight after Aggressive Child, and there's the Metamorphosis hitting up on this Razor. He's in big, big trouble, but he got the static link off. Meanwhile, Kikid and TSA are dead. And with that, this game could be over as everyone is falling on Winstrike. They get the silence off. He has no BKB, and there's a buffer. Never mind, the lag's over, but the GG's been called.
Dire's bottom
Yeah,
tower.
Winstrike, they were close. It just... In fact, it's good timing that this is happening now, and yeah, it's disconnected. Okay, so we'll go sort this out. It's not my internet this time, so that's a good thing. But we'll go try and sort this feed out. Okay, alright, apparently we're already back. But a bit of an interesting game from Winstrike. It seems like they could have had this in the bag, but questionable item builds. That's all I'm going to say. Regardless, we go to game number 2 very, very soon. It is MLP Dota. Shouldn't be too long before that game 2 starts.